Praise to the Most High Yah, family. You know, as I begin to reflect upon 2020, and this has been a very interesting year for all of us. You know, growing up in the church, you know, we've always looked forward to going to church service on this night. You know, we called it watch night service, because we always wanted to be or find ourselves praising the Most High Yah, bringing in the new year. It was a good thing that we did that. You know, we would go to these sort of like dress rehearsal of the rapture. Some of the times I remember the bishop, you know, we would have, you know, preacher-thons, and, you know, the ministers, the elders, we would get up there and we would give like a 5-minute exhortation, you know, to the people. The people get excited, they get all happy, because, you know, we're giving them an encouraging word for them to enter into that new year. But as I continue to study and understand the history or tradition of where watch night started from, it's sort of sad, especially for the African American, the so-called Negro in the land of America. As everyone knows our history. Well, if you didn't know our history was that we came over here as slaves. We were slaves. That's why when we look at our last name still reminds us that we were property. And the truth be told, we are still in the land of our captivity. But what I wanted to share with you on today, you know, when I began to look at watch night and what it really meant for our people, can you imagine the stress that went through the minds of our ancestors, who knew that if their slave master came up in the red, that for surely they would have been sold off and their family would have been sold off. So what they did on this night is that they will pray. They will be praying that somehow, some way, that their slave master did not come up in the red. You know, there has been times where they would be waiting, and they didn't know whether or not if they was going to lose all of their family members on that day. And it's sad, because that's what, if you didn't know this, that's one of the main reasons why we have family reunions. You name another people group that have family reunions or celebrate family reunions the way black people do. And see, and that goes back to a lot of us lost our family members. We lost them. But then after post-slavery, we went looking for them, to reunite with them, to have a union back with them, because they were sold off. Our captors, our slave masters, they didn't care. They didn't care at all. It was all about them being financially secured within themselves. And I think you need to ask yourself the question today: has anything changed? It's always been about money and how rich you can get. Capitalism is the going thing, it's the going system. How much land you can get. Yeah, it's It's true, family. It's true. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but one of the main reasons why the Civil War was fought in this land is because you had European immigrants. They came over here and they wanted to have a piece of the American dream. But what was happening is that a lot of these skill set jobs that was done by our ancestors, you know, such as these journeyman jobs, you know, plumbing, electrician, mason, these skill set jobs, a lot of these white Southerners was getting this work done for free. But these European immigrants, they came over and they said, we want those jobs. We want those jobs. We want to make the money. So they pushed for freeing the slaves. I mean, they didn't do it because they had some type of moral compass about themselves. You know, they cared less. You know, it was all about them being able to gain economically. You know, and of course, a lot of you guys who watch the news, you're on the internet, and you know, our government right now is struggling whether or not they want to give us $600 or whether $2,000. And it's sad that a lot of these representatives, you know, these senators, these congressmen, they're living pretty well. They're living pretty well. And based on the decision that they made the other day, if this is not an indicator to you, family, that they don't care about you, it's sad. It's sad. But going back to, you know, as I digress, going back to this watch night service, yeah, that's one of the things that our ancestors had to deal with. Is because we didn't know whether or not we was going to lose a family member. You know, and you know, we're praying, you know, that Yah comes and raptures us out of here. But the truth be told, we were already raptured. But what do I mean by that? They raped us. They lynched us. I mean, committed all different type of vile acts upon us as a people. They did it. But the funny thing about it is that we supposed to have been the savages. You know, we were the heathens. You know when the missionaries came over to the west coast of Africa, and they supposed to have brought us Christianity. What I find to be very ironic and funny about that is that you present a savior that looked like you, white European, and saying he can deliver you, but at the same time, while you saying that this person who you call Jesus can't deliver you, you were at the same time oppressing us, putting us in bondage. I'm going to pause for a minute and let you think about that for a minute. Yes. That's what Christianity did. That's what they did. And now, as we go back and reflect upon 1619, when some of the first slave ships came to Virginia, and now it's 2020, 400 years later. And the Bible gives a prophecy concerning us being in the land, a foreign land, for over 400 years, being oppressed. But now, those 400 years are over, and people are wondering why the United States is going through some of the things that they're going through. See, everybody thinks it has to do with this COVID-19 and this vaccine. Nah, family, it's deeper than that. you are Negro, African American, a black person, all this has to do about who you are biologically. It's all about whose DNA you have. But what they're not going to tell you is that we are the children of Israel, that we are the children of Yasharel, as they will call the lost tribe of Israel. That's who we are. They won't gonna tell you. They're not going to tell you that. They hid it. We are the hidden ones. How are we hidden? Well, first of all, we do not speak our native tongue, which is Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew. And look at our last names. It's not our name. It's property name. But family, I pray that the Most High Yah be with you as we transition into this new year. I can't say that things are going to change for the better economically, but I can tell you this: you better trust the Most High Yahuwah and cling to Him right now, just like our great grandfather Jacob did. How he wrestled with the Most High Yah. And the Bible tells us that he clinged to Him. He clinged to Him. He wouldn't let him go. Till the Most High Yah blessed him. And I'm telling you right now, cling to Yah. Don't let him go until He bless you. God bless you, friends.